Hey guys, welcome back to Kumasao Reviews. Today we're taking a look at 3A's Transformer Bumblebee movie, Bumblebee. Now this is the deluxe scale figure. This is the first in their deluxe scale line, so I'm really excited to check this out. I've been playing with it all day, and I will say in advance, this is a really fun figure. I like it a lot. It's extremely heavy, the heaviest figure I've seen at this kind of size, period. And I'm a diecast collector, so yeah, the posability's off the charts, or articulation I should say. Light gimmick's pretty cool. It's just well built, good looking, well engineered. It's a fun freaking piece. So if you're thinking about it, you can pause this video, go ahead, order it from wherever you order toys from, and you know, watch this to see what you're gonna get. But yeah, it's really good. So let's take a look at the height here. So it is right around 8 inches tall from what I'm seeing. In terms of accessories, it comes with the blaster, 2 additional pairs of hands. Both of them are open hands. This one really wide. These ones a little bit more closed. I wish they came with like a grip type of hand or something like that. Or maybe even a hand with articulated fingers. Hopefully a third-party company can do something, or maybe like an add-on pack. Because I think, much like the premium scale figures, the ones that are like 15 inches up, it would really do this figure some good. It's already great in terms of articulation, but it would just give it that much more oomph. So this is his battle mask. Instead of being a clip-on mask or anything like that, like the premium scale Last Night Bumblebee they made, this is a whole separate head. You've got these 2 open windows, or I guess open doors or whatever for the back. They come out like wings. And it comes with the closed doors to hang down as well. Both of them come detached from the figure. Get this stuff out of the way here. In fact, we'll get it all on one side. And it also comes with the stand, kind of the equivalent to a Masquerade 1/100 type stand, or more like the metal builds actually. So they're also 1/100. They're non-scale, but they're 1/100 scale. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of functionality, it's like that. We'll go over all of these accessories, but right now let's take a look at the figure itself. Really nice weathered paint apps, and I'm not a big fan of paint apps, but 3A, I have to concede, they actually do it really well. Alright, now taking a look at the head, it does have the antennas that come up. Now, it does have an LED gimmick. Just press that Autobot logo on the top of his head. For each head, the top part of the helmet comes off. Friction's on well, but on the top side, 2 LR44 cell batteries for each head. This is the positive side, so that's the flat side. Both of them face the same way, so flat side up. Alright, and that's the button right there, so you know how to put this in. Both of the battery holsters are exactly the same between the 2 heads. Then you just pop that right back on, and it holds very well. Now, this thing is advertised as basically having 1,000,000 points of articulation. I hope to hit at least I don't know, 0.000000001% of those 1,000,000 articulation points, but I think I'll get a good number of crucial ones, okay? So like I said, this is a mixture of plastic and die-cast, lots of die-cast throughout the frame, as well as the lower legs and the feet. Really stable figure. Alright, so ball jointed head, 360 degrees of movement there. There's also another joint where the neck meets that clavicle area, so 2 ball joints there. I wish it had a bit more functional upward movement. He can look straight up, but when it comes to like poses and things like that, it's pretty much just a straight left or right look. Alright, so these 2 fender pieces here They're on ball joints, so they don't move like in and out, but they can rotate around to get out of the way. The shoulders, they do butterfly quite a bit. 360 degrees of movement there. All right, so some up down in the shoulder pad, but it is attached to the shoulder, doesn't get in the way. 360 bicep swivel, but it's kind of blocked by the back of that shoulder piece there. Double jointed elbows. One joint's right there, the other at the traditional place for the elbow. And you still only get just past 90 degrees. It's nothing too crazy, unfortunately. All right. Forearm swivel as well. Now, I don't know if I'm going to take the time to actually put some shock oil there, but that one's creaky. This one actually pops off at that point, so I don't know if that's a factor for this one not being as creaky. Just more loose by nature. From what I see, this arm doesn't deattach. I'm not going to try to press it or anything because even the instructions only show the right arm, forearm deattaching. All right, so the wrists are on ball joints. Unfortunately, the armor right here on the forearm blocks it from being able to flick up at the wrist. That kind of sucks. The waist, it does have waist swivel, about 45 to each side. Another ball joint or something here. It looks like you can do a full 360, but I'm only taking it to about right there. Double bend, double crunch. The hips, the hip armor actually has a double hinge, so it can be moved down. Lots of upward swing. That was the window or that door just coming out. Get that down to show you guys the outward movement. Pretty good split. Double jointed knees, and if you look, I'll start it again. Actually a moving mechanism in there. Look at that. Decent ankle tilt, not great. Front and back moving on the feet. This part does move as well to make room for it. There is movement on the foot there too. So just in terms of balance, and if you notice, this moves really smoothly. Because of those nice, perfectly die-cast legs. You can actually hit deep squats and stuff like that. Pretty cool stuff. Alright, so what we're going to do here is just look at all the accessories in a very basic way, and from there we'll get it into different poses using the accessories, etc, etc. And just a note about these doors, I guess it's kind of perfect timing because that's what we're going to look at anyway. You might want to add some nail polish to those. They're kind of loose. These are fine because they're meant to kind of hang in the back, so it doesn't really matter if they're perfectly up. You don't really display your toys facing backwards anyway, but the fact that they can kind of fall out at times and this and that while you're handling, it stinks. So with the open full doors, just peg right in. This one I did add some polish to because that one was just, it wouldn't even hold up. Now it's great. So there's that, and it really doesn't have the effect on the other, I guess, newer Camaro style Michael Bay design or whatever, where they really stick up the doors and things like that. You can hardly see them from the back on this one, so it's by design, but it is what it is. Alright, so the ball joints are actually attached to the head. change out the hands, nothing too crazy. They just pop off at the ball joint. Ball joints are really solid, and the hands are pliable, so you don't really have to worry about busting the ball joint or anything like that. But they go on pretty tight, so I recommend making sure you move them around a little bit if you haven't before going ahead and pulling them off. And then here's the most open hand. Now the blaster. Alright, pegs in right there. There's the peg. Blaster has the same peg. And then you gotta watch that piece because it can fall off. There we go. Now taking a look at the LED. Now it's just as bright as the other head, but see how easy it is to see from here. It's kind of a webbing-ish design. There's a smooth layer because you can't feel the webbing, but then the webbing's underneath the eyes, so it's really neat, true to form. And that's about it for the interchangeable accessories. Now we'll take a look at the stand. Just a quick look at the stand itself. It's equivalent to the master grade stands, but this is the first one I've seen that actually works a bit different. So the mechanism for this bar right here, the one that moves the whole thing up and down. All right. So when you've got this piece flipped up, it's free to move back and forth, and then flip it down to lock. All right, up, back and forth, down. Once you figure out where you want to lock it. Okay. Now with this part of the stand, it moves freely up, but you can't press it back down. To press it back down, there's this button right here. Press it downwards, and you just heard it kind of unlatch, and then you're free to move it up and down. Now there are a lot of, you could see very little space in between. So that's cool stuff. Now this, it doesn't move up and down. You take it out, put it back into place. Now you can see it's just a peg there. There's a little notch there that snaps into place with Bumblebee himself. This piece on the back here pulls out. It's easier to see if you actually bend him forward, and from there you can just slide it out. It's really easy. Oh. We'll actually get him into flight pose in a little bit, but now you know how it attaches. Simple stuff, just him blasting the camera. Pretty standard running pose here, but what's different about this one is that his legs actually lifted off the ground there. So just showing off the balance of this figure, it's pretty damn insane. Like, this lower body is so brick solid, and the joints and things like that are so darned, like, they're perfect. They're tight, but they're not overly tight, like creaky or anything like that. Everything's like super smooth, but just solid. When you put it into a pose, if you plant his feet, you're pretty much guaranteed balance on one foot. It's pretty crazy. So just even moving around with that, you still have to use, you know, basic physics and things like that. Well, window fell off in the back. Not gonna worry about that. We're just kind of shooting at the hip. Let's see. But yeah, you guys get the gist of it. It's good stuff. And here's that superhero landing style pose. A testament to just how far and how deep he can get that squat in. Really cool stuff. Oh, got to peg the window back in after it fell out during that last pose. I'd say it looks pretty good from all angles. Here it is with the premium scale Bumblebee from the last night, also a 3A product. This one was reviewed not too long ago, around the beginning of the year, and it's another incredible piece. Actually, that Bumblebee might be a front runner for my favorite Transformer toy, period. The premium scale one. Even though it's all plastic, really well constructed, looks great, and just, it's overall just a fun figure to freaking play with, and it makes for a great display. But, you know, you're looking at 8.5 inches compared to 15 inches in the premium scale. Sorry about that. There's something in my throat. But 3A, this is just proof that no matter what the size, 3A right now, they're just kicking ass all around. Okay, so a comparison that I feel people would probably be looking for is this line, the 3A Deluxe scale line versus the Flame Toys Curry, something like that. That line there. I don't have one of the boxes available. I'm not trying to mock or anything like that because I actually really like these figures. But when it comes to, if you look at them on paper, non-transforming, die-cast, highly articulated, they have a lot of similarities. So I think they'll attract a similar type audience naturally. Okay, so which do I like better? You know, I'm going to take out the designs thing because either you like comic book designs, you like movie designs, you might like both, but you probably like one better than the other. So that's going to vary between, you know, each individual person. But in terms of build, I will say that this one feels a lot heavier, a lot more stable. Joints feel better, plays better. It has more articulation. I think that this has more dynamic articulation because like things like the double joints in the bicep are much more blatant and usable than this one, but at the same time this one has like that huge deep crunch, a lot more ab crunch and whatnot. You know, they both have their highs and lows, but I'd say all around when it comes to articulation, Bumblebee, because what it does great, it does really great. And I think the articulation points are about the same, but this one just seems to handle everything all together better, and it feels like a much more solid toy. Now, in terms of what you get for the money, because these things run between $300 and $400 versus I believe $200-ish for the 3A, I actually pulled out a scale. Alright, so all bias aside, let's actually weigh these guys and see, you know. Alright, it's set to pounds. This is zeroed out. We're going to place the Bumblebee on. Let's see how much it weighs. So you guys can see, it says 1.2 pounds, okay? For the Bumblebee. And the height difference is between 1/4 and 1/2 inch. Just so you know, but this one, we'll even leave all the weapons and stuff like that on. He is loaded up. We've got a pound. So not only do I feel like it's a better product, because this one, I've got some looseness, even pulling it off of the shelf. I don't really play with these toys too often after I'm done reviewing and photographing them and stuff like that. They kind of go on the shelf. No pew pew, pow pow, bang bang for me. Shelf and display, and that's about it. So I would say the better bang for your buck is definitely the 3A offering, you know, because you're getting more at around half the price. It's pretty crazy. And we'll go ahead and close it out here. This has been a review for 3A's Transformer, the Bumblebee movie deluxe scale. Of course, Bumblebee, really, 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 really awesome figure. I think it's sold at a price point to where if you wanted to just try this out to see what it's about, you're gonna love it. If you just like plain solid figures, if you're okay with the movie designs and things like that, it's awesome. Obviously, it's a non-transforming figure. We're years past, you know, non-transforming figures being more prevalent and things like that. So if you're still on that shit, that's on you. Don't want to hear it in this review, etc., etc. You know what you're getting. So I love it. Highly recommend it. I'd love to know what you guys who have gotten it think in the comments. Let me know if you're going to order this too. If you're not, why you're not. If it's because it's a non-transforming piece, it's a non-transforming piece. Whatever. That's your right to your preference. Just be respectful about it. But anyway, check out the full gallery and breakdown article on kumasawa.com. As for this review, of course, like, share, subscribe. Always appreciate you guys' support. Thank you guys very much. I'm so glad spring is here, and yeah, hopefully you guys have warm weather and stuff like that too, because our winter was brutal. Anyway, I will see you guys next review. Have a good one.